The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. Cowboy 80.
Right to the air is Huntley.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
To throw, Huntley.
He's going to take another shot here. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Here's Huntley.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Purdy. And this one is incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Purdy.
And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And out across midfield down to the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, on third down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And some space here. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And the top speed he attained there, according to Next Gen Stats, 21.3 miles per hour.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
On second and goal, Purdy, and it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked up by Christian Harris. And the Texans are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the first down.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down.
Well, this defense for the Colts, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he is going to have a Texans first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Huntley to throw.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They only needed a few inches there on second, but forget the halfback dive. They were going for the big one.
I thought it was a good time to take a shot. You figure with their running game, if they don't get it there, you come back and run for it and pick up the first down. Go ahead and be aggressive. Try and get one downfield for a big one.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches. We're scoreless after one. On first down, Huntley.
He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Justin Jefferson.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Texans go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 27, Purdy. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 3rd down, it's Purdy.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1.
And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down. Operating from the gun, Huntley. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 32 on the play.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. They'll look to throw again. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Justin Jefferson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 56 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. The Colts at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Purdy to throw it on first down.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted.
And the Texans will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Operating from the gun, Huntley.
That's underneath to Pierce. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time. Wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And he's going to have a first down here. They're also in a field goal range down at the 27-yard line. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
Looking for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. But let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works, sometimes they're ready for you. And that time, they were on guard. Incomplete.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That is caught inside the 5. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Brevin Jordan.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Texans will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And it's now 21-0.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it.
Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go into the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here.
Seven Pirates. 18
The final shot before break. Huntley. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Brevin Jordan.
As time expires in the first half.
And the Texans are able to add on to their first half lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here. And the ball is free. Taylor lost it. And the Texans scoop it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Come on.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They did. Touchdown, Houston.
So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right, because this team thought they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything went wrong in game 1. They took care of business with it in game 2.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Purdy off the play fake. This one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third down, it's Purdy.
And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They turn to Taylor on fourth, and he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
Remember, that was fourth at a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and fourth and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Second and 5 now. Purdy, rush coming, and he's taken down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Purdy with it on 3rd and long.
Over the middle, complete. That's Taylor. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
Purdy on 4th down.
Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Austin Hooper from 3 yards out.
And the Colts' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Lutz with the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they... And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Looking to throw.
Huntley. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Huntley. And he comes back with one complete.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, ready?
At the 36-yard line.
Hey, pass. Ready?
Back to throw again.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. That'll give him 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Ready up.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Panther 11. Panther 11.
Back to throw. Huntley.
Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation.
They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard.
Operating from the gun. Huntley. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Texans have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th.
They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 2nd and 10.
Purdy. And he's got Pierce.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
There's Purdy on 1st and 10.
And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now. And
looking for Landry, and it's intercepted.
Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Colts are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here.
Flush to his right, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Purdy now to throw.
To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. So they decline it, as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Purdy, big 4th down play.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Colts. Austin Hooper, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
19 tight.
Here's Huntley. This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Here's Purdy.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Throwing again on second down.
Purdy.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On first down, Purdy.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today.